Welcome to E-MTB Review on YouTube. If you're new here, consider subscribing and spreading the word about our brand new YouTube channel. I'm Francis, the founder of emtb.com, and this is one of my new ventures, exploring, getting deep into the world of e-mountain bikes and e-commuter bikes and really giving you insight, pros and cons on each one of these bikes. And today I have perhaps the most exciting shootout of all. It's the mid-powered shootout, the Specialized Levo SL just introduced this last week, and the Fuel EXe, the king from last year. This is in the category of mid-powered e-bikes, and it's super exciting because we have full-powered, which is developing rapidly, but these ones ride better. You can lift them a little bit easier. They're easier on the drivetrains, and they really are closer to the mountain biking that perhaps a lot of us are used to. So first, some background about the bikes. The Specialized Levo SL has 150 rear, 160 front travel, mullet wheel size, and it's available from $8,000 to $15,000. This one is the $14,000 model, the S-Works. Sorry, it's a little expensive. This one, on the other hand, is the Fuel EXe released last year. It has 140 rear, 150 front on 29er wheels. It's available from $6,500 to $14,000. This is the $13,000 model. Again, expensive. So I promise you 15 categories of comparison between the two bikes, and I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to declare a winner in each one. I'm not afraid. It's going to be the Thrilla, a 15-round Thrilla from Manila. So first category is weight. The weight on the Specialized is 38.49 pounds without cage, without pedals, and it is very light for a very usable e-bike with very burly components. Grips, saddle tires, they're all the real deal. No weight weenie stuff here. For the Trek, we are talking 40.23 pounds, a little bit heavier. The battery is a little bit bigger, and it has a few electronic gizmos. Like, look at that, look at that valve right there. Some fancy stuff in this Trek. So the winner in the weight division is this guy right here. So the second category I'll judge him on is sizing and available sizes. The Trek comes in 4 sizes. This one is a medium. Very good options for the buyer. The Specialized has entered the next level and has 6 sizes. They call it S sizing. And what's cool about it is they try to get all the seat tubes low. So the particular person like myself can go S2, S3, or S4 depending on my style and preference. And this one is an S3. The winner on sizing is the Specialized once again. 6, definitely better than 4. Next category is the wheel size. The wheel size on the Specialized is mullet 27, 29. It's adaptable to a 29er wheel size with a trick where you can lengthen the chainstay, so it's optimized for both sizes. The Trek comes out of the box with a 29er wheel size. It's adaptable to 27 as well. You can't change the chainstay length, but it is pretty short. This chainstay is 438. So what's the best wheel size? For e-bike, I would say it's the mullet or 27, 29. If you're not the extreme short or tall person. But there's a couple things going on with e-bikes. One is the motor takes up room, so it lengthens your chainstay automatically. Also, there's more weight. There's 5, maybe 10 pounds more weight on your rear wheel. And so if you want the bike to be quick, like your normal mountain bike, the bike you're used to, make it playful, make it agile, the 27 really helps the natural qualities of an e-bike. In this round, the Specialized is going to win as well. Even though they're both adaptable, the fact that you can change the length of this chainstay to make it perfect for each wheel size is an advantage. So now we're going to talk about geometry. The first number that I'll mention is the reach, 445 here, 443 here, and that's from your saddle to the center of your stem. And these are nice and modern, nice and roomy without going too Euro on us, without getting too long. And you want a lot of reach now, because with a dropper post, it allows you to move around and really control that bike, that weight around you, and it allows you a short stem like a 40 or a 50 stem. Next all-important number is head angle. They're virtually the same, 64.6 and 64.8, and this has some adjustability. And this is a good number for trail bikes these days. And hand in hand with head angle is seat angle. This one has a 75.8 seat angle. This one has a 76.8 seat angle. And now chainstay, it affects your balance and your quickness, agility. 432 here, millimeters for 27, and 438 here. So this is pretty dang short too, but it's not adjustable. Last couple numbers, the cranks they ship with these bikes on the S3 is 170, and over here is 165. So this is what everyone does. 165, good number. 170, they're taking a little bit of a risk because now you're prone to pedal strikes. And what I think they want is, this is a low-powered e-bike, so they want the rider to contribute. Remember that you could do a flip chip and raise your bottom bracket height. Last number is standover, 766 here. Pretty good, right? But this one was shocking, 722. I don't know how did that happen. They look about the same. But it turns out standover is measured at the tip of the saddle, and the fact that they have this little design feature here gives it lower standover. Still with me, folks? Adjustability. This one is a flip chip, and you can adjust it when you change your wheel size. This one has a flip chip as well, raises the bottom bracket, but has two other tricks up its other sleeves. One is an adjustable headset angle and also an adjustable chainstay length. So winner on that is this. Okay, now we'll discuss the all-important motor, the heart of the system. Let's talk about the Trek introduced last year. The TQ motor is special because it is so small and so quiet, and what it has is 50 Newton meters of torque that they claim, and 300 watts of power on peak. So what they have is now 50 Newton meters of torque, very willing torque, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, and 320 watts of continuous power. Next attribute is battery. What makes a mid-powered bike is modular batteries. And so what we have here is 320 watt hours of battery. This is the same as the old Levo SL, unfortunately, but it's a tried and true system and it works. This one has a 360 watt hour system. This one is about 0.4 pounds heavier than this one, but it has 360 and this is only 320. These batteries are fairly light. 160 for this one. Same thing here. It's a little stubbier, but 160 watt hours as well. So modular batteries is the key. The winner, I would say maybe the Trek, just because it has more capacity for almost a very identical weight. All right, now let's talk about electronics and displays. So let's talk about the Specialized first. The display is the highlight. The Mastermind TCU is a true advantage. Just an amazing piece with about 30 pieces of information that you can configure. It's right on the top tube, so well integrated. The charging port has a nice door, spring-loaded door. The charger is very good as well. It can charge the internal battery and the extender at the same time. Very cool. They have a nice button here that's very subtle. The walk mode is very inconvenient, unfortunately. And then another downside is the Mastermind TCU, as much as I rave about it, is so tiny. It's too small with that much information. It looks like a switch or an LED light because that's what it is. They basically adopted their switch and LED display into a display unit, so you don't have a lot of real estate. Let's move to the Trek. They have an integrated display. Beautiful. It takes up the whole top tube, and a nice color too, black on black, so it's kind of stealth. When you turn it off, you don't even know it's there. It has about maybe twice the real estate, the display real estate of this one. Black and white only. You can't paginate to the remote. You have to press this button, and this is also the power buttons of the bikes is right here, so very convenient. The switch is very mature, very small, unobtrusive, but nice tactile feel to it. The charging port is right in the center, and the center is actually really cool because whatever side it's leaning on, the charging port is always accessible. Something cool is when you charge them, both these bikes, both the displays turn on and says, hey, I'm 12% full, 13%. So you see the progress right away. You have the information and you know pretty much how long it's going to take. I wish all e-bikes did that. Both these bikes do. The winner in a close call, I would say, is the Specialized Levo, just because the Mastermind TCU has so much information, color too, mind-blowing, and the charger can charge both at the same time. Okay, now let's talk about stealth and stealth looks. You know, in the early days of e-mountain bikes, no one really wants to look like a motorcycle. So the more subtle, the more discreet a bike is, the better. So what we have here is the Trek TQ motor. You can barely see it. There's a hole here too to see that, hey, there's nothing there. Over here is the motor is right here. It's small too, but you know, it shows a little bit of what it is. Their batteries are really cool. This one has a more trapezoidal feel. So both very stealthy, but over here, I'm gonna declare a winner. This one has fooled many people over many rides. They're all like, is that an e-bike? because you can't see it and you can barely hear it. So winner on the stealth department is the Trek. Next category is the stealth, again, stealth sound. Both are very quiet. This is 40% more quiet than the predecessor. Really cool. And when you compare sound, mind you, you really have to compare them at similar power levels. You know, don't compare this one at 100 watts to a Levo at 500 watts. Obviously, big disparity. So I really took the effort to compare them at close to 300 watts of output. The winner here is the Trek. Really just whisper quiet. Number 11 category is iPhone app. So this one is a very mature app called Mission Control. They've been using it for a while. Lots of configurability. This one is a fairly basic app, but it's got good control as well. And so the winner here is going to be on the Specialized. All right, now we're going to get into the meat of this review, riding ability in terms of climbing and descending. This one seems to have less resistance on the motor, meaning when the motor is off or when you hit the speed limit of 20, you know, does it give you drag? This one seems to give you a little bit of drag, and I'm going to measure that in a future video with my power meter, pedals, and motor off. So this one has less drag, it seems. When you have the motor on, this one is very subtle, kind of like the old Levo SL. This one is a lot more supported now. The Eco is very usable, and the trail is incredible. The trail pretty much gives you the whole gamut of the torque and up to 80% of the power, I believe, without pushing you too much, but very usable. You put in the power, it gets up and goes. And what's really cool about this bike, I've been able to ride with full powered e-bikes, so really incredible support on this one. The turbo mode on it is pretty much the same as the trail mode. You have to go in the app and really get the boost. And the reason they do that, I think, is to save battery. The battery has not increased in size, so they want to give you, they don't want to harm the range too much when you go for that full 320 watts of power that this thing has. This thing, not very supportive, I must admit. You know, you have to get in there and really tune the levels to get you the full support. So on the climbing, fire road speed, this one is a little bit faster than this, and I have some tests on it. And then on technical stuff, rocks and stuff, stop and go, switchbacks and whatnot, this is definitely more supportive. So climbing, the winner is this. On the range, really, this is kind of shocking, but you know, this motor is more efficient. 360, 320 watt hour, and this one, the range I'm getting is about the same on both of them, with this one even being a little faster than this. Right. Which one descends better, which one corners better, and it's more fun. So this one is one of the best Treks I've ever used. I've tried a lot of the Slash, Rail, Fuel, I've owned them all, and this one is just amazing. 140, 150, and you can change it to 160 as well. It is just so nice and poppy, very supportive. You know, they really focused on that, the playfulness of this bike, easy to change direction, but the jumping is just shocking, how well it jumps. You land it hard and whatnot. Sometimes I wish I had a little more travel, so a 140, 160 I think is ideal for this bike. This bike, on the other hand, it just redefined the Levo SL. The Levo SL used to be just a so-so descender, in my opinion. But two things happened. One is they made it way more supple. You know, when you sit on it, it just, at the sag point, it's so very linear and almost no resistance. At the edges, it supports you as well. I think what it does is it doesn't focus too much on anti-squat and pedaling efficiency and whatnot. It just gives you the best ride possible. So 150, 160, I wouldn't change a thing right now because it's amazing. I would just tweak the geometry and whatnot. Now, when on the jump, this one jumps a little higher, but when you case it, this one is a little more forgiving. So I love this. Now, changes of direction and whatnot, this one is better. The mullet is just so quick. Just a delight to turn it and carve. So In the descending ability, I'll try to give you some video and talk through it. This is a better descender box stock. More supple, so winner, Specialized Levo SL. Components, the wheels are some of the best now in the market, very comparable. The tires, the Bontrager tires, I was gonna say were better than the Specialized tires, the SE5, SE5. They should have put SE6 on it because this can handle so much aggressive terrain. Specialized, I think, leapfrog Bontrager with the introduction of their T9 tires. T9, and on the it's the grippy rubber. T7, T9 is the 2-compound rubber here. These are the best, some of the best tires around. I even put them on my other bikes now, and I'm not alone. Other people do that as well. So great tires, better tires on the Specialized. Saddle on the Specialized is better. They also stopped insisting on their own house brand dropper post. This one, they still use the Bontrager dropper post on a $13,000 bike. It's not that good. Trek gives you a lot of Shimano and some SRAM. They do Fox, and then they do RockShox as well. Specialized is just a SRAM shop. The reason, I think, is they want guaranteed volumes. They sell so many, and Shimano couldn't provide it to them. Even though they're better, I think, for e-bikes, because the reason Shimano is better is because it shifts slower. More deliberate shifts. Also, the brakes are better on Shimano for sure. To declare a winner on components, very tough one, I'll go with the Trek. Just because they have Shimano, they have Fox, they have RockShox, and they have SRAM as well. So, and the last part of the shootout, just because you hung on with me, is the multi-tool. Which one has the better multi-tool? The Specialized or the Fuel EXe? And this just shows you how competitive they are against each other, that they both try to do the stealth headset multi-tool. This one has a chain breaker, has a tool right here. You just break open like that and you just pull it out. This one is spring-loaded, you flip the cover and then boom, it just comes out. The winner for me is the Specialized because there's a chain breaker, but it's hidden in there. You only take it out in emergency, and this one I've used like hundreds of times. Whenever someone needs a tool, adjust their seat or the grips are loose or whatnot, boom. The best tool is the handiest tool, and this is definitely the most handy tool ever. In fact, that's just kind of a light-hearted approach on the shootout. Which bike is right for you? You make the call. They're both very configurable, both amazing options, the best two-riding e-bikes I think out there in the market. For me right now, it's the Specialized Levo SL. Thanks a ton, and spread the word about E-MTB Review.